Hey everyone, we're back for another Bible lesson today, and we're going to continue where we left off on Friday when we were talking about Jesus and he was going to Pilate. Okay, and so let's go ahead and review. So let's read together. Jesus was arrested. Okay, so they came and they arrested him and they take him. Okay, the leaders brought him to Pilate. And this is what we talked about on Friday. And so, who was Pilate? Let's read. He was the Roman leader in Israel. Okay, so remember, Rome is strong now. They are the country who is over many other people, and one group of people that they rule over is Israel. And so they have a leader who watches all of Israel, and he is in charge, and his name is Pilate. So they bring Jesus to Pilate. Pilate did not find anything bad about Jesus. So they bring Jesus to Pilate, and they say, he is very bad. And Pilate talks to but does Pilate say Jesus is bad? No, he says he can't find anything bad about Jesus. Because, is Jesus bad? No, Jesus is good. He's all the way good. And so Pilate can see Jesus is not bad. He, and who is he? Pilate, yes, good. He wanted to let Jesus go free. But the people yelled. Kill him. Crucify him. Okay, and so remember, the people, they are all very mad. They do not want Jesus to go free. They want Jesus to die. They say, kill him. They say, crucify him. Because the leaders want all the people to say this because they want Jesus to die. Pilate said, Wait. This man is a Jew. Send him to Herod. Herod was the Jewish king. Okay, so Herod now is the king, but he is only the king over the Jewish people. So remember, Pilate is strong, and he is strong over all of Israel, right? And, but Herod is the king, but he is the king only for the Jewish people. And so Pilate sees that Jesus is a Jew. And so he says, not my problem, Herod's problem. Right? We know this because I have children, and maybe my children come to me, and my daughter comes and she says, Daddy, I want a cookie. And what do I say? I say, go ask your mother. Why? Why do I say this? Because I say, not my problem. Go ask your mother. Her problem. Right? This is what Pilate does. He says, not my problem. Go to Herod. He is the king of the Jewish people. But let's see what kind of king he is. He was not very strong. So Herod is not a strong king. Okay? Herod was very happy to see Jesus. He had heard about Jesus. He wanted Jesus to prove he was the Christ. And so Herod is the king, but he hears about Jesus, and he hears that there's this man Jesus who says he is the Christ. And remember, the Christ is going to be the king forever. And so Herod says, a new king forever? Come, I want to hear what you have to say. But let's see what he says. Herod asked Jesus many questions. But Jesus did not talk. So Herod wants to find out if he is the Christ. Herod wants him to tell him, are you the Christ? But Jesus does not talk to Herod. Why? Because Jesus does not have to answer Herod's questions. Because Jesus is the King of all kings. He is the king over Herod. And so he does not need to answer Herod's questions because Jesus is stronger than Herod. Herod and the leaders laughed at Jesus. They put Jesus in beautiful clothes. Laughed at him more. And sent Jesus back to Pilate. And so, what did they do to Jesus? They took Jesus and they put him in beautiful clothes. And so here, what we see is they dress up Jesus, okay? Why? Because they dress up Jesus to say, oh, you are like a king? You are the Christ? You are a king? We are going to dress you up like a king. But, like a real king? No, they want to laugh at Jesus. They do not think that he is a real king. So they dress him up to laugh at him. But is Jesus the true king? Yes. And Jesus is a strong king. And he is a stronger king than Herod. Because Jesus has come to fight the enemies of his people. And our biggest enemies are sin and death. And Jesus has come to fight against sin and death. And this is why English is good. But English does not fight sin and death. This is why learning about Jesus, who is the good king who fights sin and death, is much, much better.